Hello everyone and welcome to the race briefing video for the Suffolk Coastal Path 50k. My name is Chris. I'm going to take you through everything that you need to know. There's a fair bit to get through, but I'll be as quick as I can. Now the first thing to say is all the race resources, everything that you will need is available on our website, and there are a few things that you should look at. So take a look at the one-page PDF document, which kind of goes through most of the important details that I'm talking about now, but written down so you can digest that in your own time. And then the other thing that I'd really recommend watching is the route fly-through video, which is basically me on Google Earth for about 20 minutes, just going through the entire route, and you just, will get really familiarized with everything and should make you feel nice and confident arriving on Saturday. So those are a few things to look at. There's also GPS files, links to the route on OS Maps and Garmin and things like that, all on the website. So yeah, everything is there. Now, we've got 92 of you registered at the time of recording this, and about half of you, about 48, are booked on the coach that is leaving from Aldborough, from the finish, and taking you to the start before the race. So just to confirm those details, so what's going to happen with that is the coach will depart Thorpe Road car park, which is just up the coast from the sort of main Aldborough High Street. I'll point that out on Google Maps now. So Thorpe Road car park is where the pickup is. That coach will leave sharp at 7 a.m. It will arrive, should arrive about 6:45, and you can board from 6:45 onwards. But please don't be late. We can't wait for you. We do need to get the coach moving at 7 to get there in good time for the start. Now, I would recommend parking at Thorpe Road car park, but you do have to pay for parking there, and you do that via the Ringo application. So if you've not used Ringo before, download it from the App Store, get your card details set up on there, then on the day when you arrive, you just open the app, type in the location, which I think is 4409, and then pay for the parking for the day. The charging doesn't actually kick in until 8 a.m. So you can easily park your car, get on the coach, and then you can do the payment on the coach. As long as it's done by 8 o'clock, that's fine. You can also, if you don't want to use the app, there's a phone number and you can go through an automated service and pay with your card. But please do remember to do that. It's just a council car park. It's nothing to do with us. You do need to sort that out yourself. The other thing says the coach only has 53 seats. We've got 48 of you booked on there. Now, it is essential that you check that if you think you've booked a ticket, that we have that down. So please go to the website, go to the entrant list, and if you have the word coach marked next to your name, we have you down for the coach. If you do not, we do not have you down, and you either need to get one of those remaining few seats that are there, or if you did purchase it and it's our mistake, please let us know. So yeah, please do that. Obviously, once that coach fills up, there won't be any more spaces available. So act fast if that's something that you really need to do before race day. So Thorpe Road car park, 7 o'clock leaves. It will arrive at Pakefield Road car park about 7:45, and then I'll be on the coach and I'll be walking us all over to the registration area. Now, for those of you that are arriving straight into Lowestoft, if you're leaving a car there, then Pakefield Road car park is the best one to do that. Again, you have to pay via Ringo, and it's the same process. If you're just being dropped off, then I recommend being dropped off at the bottom of Kensington Road. That is the closest point where you can drive to the registration area. So you can drive onto that, drop off, and then you're walking down to beach level. So the registration area and the start is on beach level, so you have to go down the steps or down the slope, and you will find it's the Lowestoft Lifeguard Corps huts. They have kind of yellow and red design on their door, but you'll see us there. We'll have some flags set up and stuff, and it's right next to a cafe called Sunrise at Zach's. So get yourself down there. Registration opens at 7 o'clock or 7:05 technically, and it will close at 8:20. Now, I would say if you're being dropped down at Lowestoft, I would recommend getting there between 7:30 and 8 at the latest, because the coach is going to arrive at about 7:50, 8 o'clock, and they'll have a big rush of about 50 people all registering at that time. So if you're going straight to Lowestoft, get down there a bit early before the coach people arrive, and then be a bit more chilled out. You're going to be picking up a race bib and a wristband. Just wear this wristband on your wrist. I would recommend doing it on the opposite wrist to your watch, because the watch can often get in the way when we're trying to scan it. Just keep that on. We're going to be scanning that at checkpoints 2, 3, and at the finish line to record your times. You don't need to do anything else with it. A marshal will just come up to you and they will scan it when they need to. So just keep that on, and remember to give it back to us at the ends. The other thing, of course, you'll pick up your bib, we'll have safety pins and things like that, and there will be some coffee available free of charge at registration. We've got a big vat of coffee, and yeah, just you can help yourself to that. Probably people arriving on the coach, you might be there a bit too late for the coffee as you're arriving about 8, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be some available if you want to drink it up nice and quickly. Okay, so mandatory items, what do you need to bring? What do you need to carry with you when you're running? So you need to bring your phone and have that fully charged. Now, on your phone or your watch, you will need to load the GPS route. Now, this is just for backup purposes, but because we're managing 50 kilometers of trail, which we are signing the entire 50 kilometers, but we can't have someone in every corner, every spot. So in the unlikely outcome that someone moves our signage, vandalizes our signage, or it's obscured by busy footpaths or cars or whatever, that's your backup. That's your lifesaver in case something goes wrong. So you can go onto our website and you can either download the GPS and you can load that straight onto your watch if that's something you know how to do, or we've already pre-uploaded it to the OS Maps app, so you can view it on the OS Maps app. If you want to see the actual OS Maps layer, you will need the premium version, but you can look at it on a normal map without paying anything for it. We've also put it on Google Maps, on Garmin, and yeah, there's a few places you can look at it. So either on your phone or on your watch, but just have a way to be able to look at the route just in case you think, hold on a minute, I'm lost, I don't know where I am, I've missed a turning, and you can try and use that to get back on the route. Now, it's worth saying, although this is called the Suffolk Coastal Path 50K, the coastal path does not just hug the coastline the entire way. It goes inland for sections and it goes in different directions. It doesn't just stick to the obvious coastal kind of path. The actual signage for the coastal path looks a bit like this logo on the t-shirt. It's yellow and blue, but always follow our signage. Our signage, we do have a couple of points where we actually come off the official route just because it keeps things a bit easier for navigation and safety and things like that. I'll go through our signage in a second. So yeah, other things to bring. So phone with the route on it, or the route on your watch, so you've got it as a backup. Some form of water system, bottles, bladder, whatever. You need some way to be able to take on water at the aid stations. We don't have bottles of water. It's just from canisters. If you have a soft cup, bring a soft cup. We have Coke and electrolyte drink. Electrolyte, by the way, is just at checkpoints 2, 3, and 4. There won't be electrolytes at 1 because it's so early on. But there will be Coke and electrolytes so that you can just help yourself. Please bring a cup so you can take advantage of that. We do have a few paper cups, but we want to, try and get our waste as close to zero as possible. So if you have something, bring it. Shoes, I would recommend either a road shoe, because a lot of it is very hard packed trails, or it's tarmac trails and country lanes and things like that, or a kind of nice comfy soft trail shoe. I wouldn't go for anything too rugged and too kind of too grippy, too technical. I'd just go for something that's going to give you comfort on the day. There are, of course, uneven sections. There are, you're running through fields at some points, you're running through forests, but most of it, you would definitely get away with a road shoe. So have a think what's going to be most comfy for you, but certainly you don't need it. There's not, not highly technical terrain to go over during the race. Okay, so onto the navigation signage. So there are a few different signs to look out for. The majority of them are going to be these. So these are orange and white arrow markers, and they come in either this size or this size. So some are bigger, some are smaller. We do actually have some much bigger ones that actually have written on it turn left or turn right in A3. You might see a couple of them at the really sharp turnings, but primarily it's going to be these A4 or kind of half A4 orange and white arrows. If for some reason we run out of those, because we don't have, all of our signs aren't like that, we've got some older signs which are these ones, which are kind of white background with orange on. You may see a couple of those, but unlikely, but just showing you those just in case. So all of our signage is basically white and orange. There is some of these, so if you see a wrong way sign, it means that, you know, we're saying don't go down this path. You know, sometimes you're going to be on a big straight trail and you're taking a right or a left. On the straight on, we might put one of these just to say, you know, please, you know, turn back, and you've probably missed a turning. And then we are marking sort of in between all the signage with these orange ribbons. So these will be everywhere as well, hung to branches and different places, railings and things like that. So with a mixture of all of those things, that will get you round the course nice and easily. There are a few busier sections, so things like Southwold, for example, along the promenade, it's much, much busier. So we do have marshals out on the route. There are about 16 different marshal points that we'll have people at, and they will be there to help you get around, and if you need anything or there's any emergencies, then you can talk to them as well. So obviously, you know, you're running on public footpaths, so be nice to everyone you see, be courteous. There's going to be people on their bikes, walking dogs, having, you know, a nice time. Certainly on the busy areas, please don't push through people. I know that we're on a timed race and it's important that, you know, we all finish as fast as we want to, but at the same time, you know, we're on open paths, and just be really respectful, give everyone a smile, and everyone will have a nice day out. So yeah, please do that. Checkpoints, there are 4 checkpoints: 6.8, 21.8, 34.1 and 43 kilometers. So the first one's quite early doors, probably more of a liquid stop than anything, but there will be, you know, Coke, water, sweets, gels, crisps, all sorts of things at all of our checkpoints. All of them will have electrolyte drink pre-mixed, which is a mountain fuel kind of carb electrolyte mix. That's available at all of them except for the first checkpoint. And then, yeah, as I said earlier, at checkpoints 2 and 3, we are recording a timing point. So the first marshal you'll see will ask to scan your wristband. So just make sure you have that ready for them. Medical support along the route is going to be done by the Suffolk Lowland Search and Rescue. So we've got loads of them out on the route, both marshalling and doing first aid. They're obviously not necessarily going to be where you're going to get injured, but they can respond. So if you have a medical incident, ideally get yourself to a checkpoint, because at checkpoints we can look after you with shelter and with, you know, we've got first aid kits there at all times and things like that. If you can't get to a checkpoint, on your race bib is the number, the race director number, which goes through to me. I go through straight to the medical team, and we can get someone out to you, and we can try and deal with that. So that, yeah, that number's on your bib. I'll put it on the screen now. Make sure you have that handy, and yet please only use that in an emergency situation, but it is there in case you need it. If you're going to withdraw, obviously if you withdraw and you don't do that at an aid station or something like that, maybe someone comes to pick you up, please let us know. Please send a text message to the race director number on your bib, or give us a quick phone call. We need to know that you're out the race, so we're not looking for you. But also, please give your wristband back. If you can't give it back on the day, then we would ask you to post it. They're quite expensive, so please remember to do that. Now at the finish, so the finish is on the main sort of footpath promenade in Aldborough. It's a brilliant place outside Moot Hall. Not the Moot Hall that is so famous in the Lake District, but this one will feel pretty good finishing at on Saturday. Spectators, very, very welcome, but please be careful not to sort of block the path. It's quite a busy footpath, and we don't want to block access. There's a few businesses there as well. Sometimes there's a bit of vehicle traffic dropping stuff off to those businesses. So just try and keep out the way of any sort of moving traffic. When you finish, you will get a free Athletic Brewing beer, completely alcohol free, so enjoy that and kind of rehydrate yourself. And then there's loads of pubs in Oldborough and all sorts of stuff you can enjoy for the rest of the day. Some very good fish and chips as well, check that out. T-shirts like the one I'm wearing are available either to pre-order now in small, medium or large. They are unisex T-shirts, so go with what size you kind of think is going to be best for you. They are kind of reasonably well-fitting, so I'm wearing a small, for example. We have kind of limited quantities of all of these. We've only printed 50 in total, so there is not a T-shirt for everyone. So if you want one, you can pre-order on the website now, or we will be selling them after the race as well, but yeah, can't guarantee how many are going to be left at that point. Those of you that have already purchased your T-shirts, we will give those to you at the finish line. Obviously no point giving them to you at the start because you'll just have to carry it for 50k. Also going to be some caps from Yagoku Projects, who are one of our sponsors. They are going to give some caps to some of the winners. Check out their range at the finish, some really nice stuff, and yeah, we'll have those available. Yeah, just to buy. I think there's a special race day price as well. Weather. So there is going to be a little bit of weather in the area. There's a little bit of rain forecast. You notice I didn't, when I talked about the mandatory kit, I didn't mention a rain jacket or anything like that. We're not making that mandatory. However, I would really highly recommend having a second layer in your pack, because if you're going to get cold and then you pick up an injury and you start walking, you're going to want something to keep warm. So there might be a bit of rain on the day, hopefully not. It's certainly not going to be torrential, but please, if you can, pack a jacket, because it keeps everything safe and you'll keep yourself warm if you need to. So that's what I'd say on that. If there are going to be any more updates, any changes, anything that happens between now and Saturday, we will send you an email. We will post it on the website. And if there's any sort of big emergencies, we may even send you a text message. But we doubt that will need to happen. So really, it's just a case of getting yourself ready, getting yourself down there either to the coach drop off on time, so get down there for 6:45, ready for a 7 o'clock departure, or get yourself straight to the start line, any time between really 7 or 8. So guys, that's it. That's all I've got to say. Appreciate you listening along. Have a great race. I really look forward to seeing you down there. See you soon.